Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be taking you to the gym with me and then through a day in my life where I have the OR and work. So every day is kind of different as far as my routine goes because I don't always have surgery, I don't always have work, and some days I have school. So there's kind of just like a change in like what my day is, but this is going to be just more about how to balance everything, and I'm going to give some advice on how to create the life that you're desiring as well as like some practical tips to implement become more confident. After the gym, I get to the office and I try to get everything ready for the patients. So this includes getting all the paperwork and everything they might need to complete upon intake before I can get them back for the surgeon to see them. I also had to complete some charting from the day before. Okay, so I am just now leaving the office. We had some patients this morning that we saw, and now I'm headed to the surgery center. And I try to get there before the surgeon does to make sure that everything we need is there and there's no issues with the patient showing up or anything like that. So I kind of just go and like make sure there's not going to be any problems. And then during the surgery, I scrub in with the surgeon and I assist with him. So I get to close skin and just do anything in the procedure he asks me to, more or less. It is now 9:45 a.m. and I have only had the Celsius, and usually by this point of the day I've had a Celsius and a coffee, but because we've got surgery this morning I didn't feel good about having that much caffeine because I didn't want my hands to be shaky. While we drive over there, I wanted to talk about setting goals for yourself and how to actually achieve those goals, because I know it's really easy to set goals and then give up halfway through, or maybe never even start the goal to begin with. Like, you want to eat healthy but you never actually take the steps to eating healthy, for example. Tip number one when you're setting goals for yourself is to make a list. And for me, I'm a big list girl. Like, I make a list for everything, which I'm a pretty busy person anyways, so if I don't make a list, things get forgotten. So at the beginning of the year, which don't wait for the beginning of the year to start goals. You can start goals at any point, but just write them down, and then at a year from that date, look back and see how much progress you've made so you can analyze what to do differently. And that's something that's really helped me start to achieve things, is looking back on goals I'd set and seeing where I am now, and then trying to figure out a plan or strategy of how to reach them. Another thing that's super important when setting goals is to be consistent and to do what you say you're gonna do. So if tomorrow you say you're gonna wake up at 5:30 a.m., you wake up at 5:30 a.m. whether you get out of bed or not. You're gonna wake up and be awake, because what that does, even though it's a small goal and you're not letting anybody else down by not doing that, you're letting yourself down, and as a result your self-confidence will be lower. And I didn't believe that when somebody told me that if you break promises to yourself that you lose confidence, until I started practicing that. And it really is true. And for me, like, I've always had self-confidence issues, as well as like just staying disciplined has always been really difficult for me, because there's always so many other excuses I can come up with. Because let's face it, like, life is busy, life's crazy, and I work full time. I want to be healthy and work out every day, and then I also am a full-time college student with biology pre-med as a major. So I am a pretty busy person, but it's all about how you plan your days out and how organized you are on if you're going to be successful, as well as doing what you say you're going to do regardless of how you feel, because how you feel is going to change and you're not always going to be motivated to do something. And I see a lot of people on TikTok especially talking about building the life you want, or building her, like things I'm doing to build her. I see that all the time. And I think it's really awesome, but I just want to set some realistic expectations for that. So a lot of people are like, I'm building her, and it's like them at the gym, and it's a collage, and it's super cute and awesome. But what people don't realize is when you're building something, it's a day in and day out commitment. And it's not a one-time thing. Like, you're going to have to work on it and be consistent for a long time. Building something takes a lot of planning, and it's very intentional. And I think if you can get yourself to plan what you're gonna do and be intentional with your actions, that you're gonna be so much better off. And if you're wanting to build something for yourself, you need to be aware of what that something is. You can't go into it with this, oh, I just wanna be better. Like, okay, what's that look like for you? What lifestyle changes need to be made? What's your diet look like? What's your day-to-day, day in, day out look like? What's your routine? Do you have a routine? If not, maybe that's where you start. And it's just really analyzing your habits and figuring out what habits aren't working for you anymore and what things you could do to be happier. So for me in my life, something I've started doing recently, really within the last couple months, is prioritizing the gym. And at first it was about aesthetics for me. Like, I wanted to look a type of way, lose weight, whatever it was. But now it's really just, sorry, I bet that was so annoying. But now the gym has become my time. So since I work all day and I go to school all day, and like, I've got all these things going on, I've got to have dinner made, I've got to have the house clean, laundry done, like I've got lists on lists on lists of things to do. I have zero time for me, and what that felt like was super overwhelming. And so now that I have been prioritizing getting up early and going to the gym, it's like I have an hour to 2 hours a day for me. And something else I've started prioritizing to really just put myself first and give myself time to think about things that have happened and really just soak things in. And, you know, if I wanted to listen to a podcast, that's the time to do it. If I wanted to learn about something, that's the time to do it. It's just really learning how to schedule out your day. And now we're at the surgery center. Okay, so let's go inside and get changed for surgery. Hospital scrubs are always like super big, but you have to change into them for surgery. So I forgot to finish the vlog. Pretty much the last thing you saw was my watch, and that was me leaving the surgery center. That's what time we finished. And then I went back to the office and did some paperwork and returned some messages and left about 5, and I got home and did some homework until about 9 o'clock, and then I went to bed. And that's just like a typical day in my life. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below, and I'm going to try to post every week. So consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one.